EK versus the Blaskowitz on CK, Sorlag versus Eisen on Veil, Anarchy versus Nyx on Awoken, and Galena versus Slash on Molten Falls. Love to see it. Will it go all 5? I have no idea anymore. I mean, all of these sets have been so ridiculously close. But starting off on Strog versus Ranger, Dan, how do you feel about that matchup?
I like the matchup. We know what to expect from Strog, and I'm looking down the board here. I feel this is one of the first times I would say this, but I feel that Raisy's got the better hand on the picks and bans across the board. I don't think Rapha's bad by any means, but Strog versus Ranger is neither here nor there. I like the Strog a lot, and Raisy decided to pick it straight up, and he plays it well. Ranger's obviously an amazing counter because you can play the tempo and have the same versatility. But then we move into Corrupted Keep, and it was a preference choice on the Blaskowicz, but I really like the Death Knight here. Again, we'll see what Rapha pulls it out, and we know he plays it exceptionally well there. But again, we've seen just Death Knight seems undefeated in this patch so far in this tournament. It's just been so strong. Moving on to Veil, we've got almost the signature Sorlag from Raisy. The Isen's good here, but again, if Raisy brings out that fast tempo and can pressure Rapha like he did against Qcon in the previous series, he was tearing it apart, and so the speed and the stack can be huge. Again, moving last to get down the list, we get some more unusual picks, but we got the Nyx on Rapha, which is really good. But again, the tempo that Anarchy can set, again, if Raisy can get a good start and a good stack, he can pressure the Nyx, but it is a Rapha Nyx, so it's another story. And then finally, we have Galena against Slash. Maybe Slash could have been the better pick for Raisy, but he's not that comfortable. Galena is very strong, and if Slash slides into a Totem Fortress, it can spell her doom as well. But he'll be under a lot of pressure if we get that far.
And I think earlier today, Raisy said, I don't really mind going up against Rapha. Well, here it is. We talked about it a little bit earlier, This is the opportunity for Raisy to get a little bit of revenge almost, as taking a quick peek at the predictions, 55% in favor of Raisy. You don't see that every day.
Wow.
Where people are predicting against Rapha, although it just flipped 54% for Rapha, so I don't know. Chat doesn't even know what they're saying anymore.
I mean, you got to let them play all the way out because they can change, and people throwing down those big channel point predictions. But one other thing Raisy said is, and we've talked about it, it doesn't matter at this point, right? The players who are left standing are strong across the board, whether it's Qcon, whether it is Raisy, Benger, Rapha, Cypher, right? I mean, Avik, these are all strong candidates. So at this point, I don't think any player is looking at it like, well, I'm going to have to play this person and this person. It's just like, I've got to do what I need to do to climb this mountain and win. Everyone's prepared for it. Everyone knows. I don't think there's any more surprises left. It's just bring your best game and don't leave anything behind. And we're about to see who will join Wenger in the grand finals, who will have a one map advantage. Will it be his teammate and potentially the rematch, Raisy, or will it be Rapha? We're going to find out. 40 Lines ZSX, take us away.
Thank you, Wheat. Appreciate it. Dan, you can't hide from me for too long. Here we are again.
I tried my best, but no, I'm back to support you, to carry you once again. But we've got a great game to go through for these, so at least there's something to look forward to for chat.
Yeah, exactly. You can suffer, but it's worth it, I think. I don't know. And yes, you're going to need those muscles to carry me through this set. I think it's going to go all 5. I don't know. I mean,
fingers crossed.
You have to question how much Rapha has in the tank. He is literally just going through the depths of hell on the way to the stairway to 7 potentially, and he's slaying all of these demons, but it's taking so much out of him. So Raisy could just come in here guns swinging and just put a big dent in Rapha's confidence if he takes map number 1.
Yeah, I've seen some low IQ statements coming out of chats over the last few days about Rapha's washed.
Never.
Rapha's washed. He's never coming back. But it's weird to say that Rapha's on his own redemption arc, like nearly going out to Sparty. Those two have huge history as it is, but again, hugely unexpected to be pushed to the limit. And even the last few matches, he's come out on top against some great players, but again, always pushed to the wire. Now, we looked at this and said no one wants to meet Rapha, but what I will say, my hunch says, is I think if Raisy can get up on Rapha, it actually puts him in a better position going into the final than if he can beat Qcon, because he is true and tried and tested and beating Qcon, but he hasn't really beat Rapha, and that is the mental step he needs to take to be a champion.
And it's a big mental step here as the war wages out. Immediately rockets right in Rapha's pocket. Almost gets the spawn rail as well. Raisy up 1 early here as the battle for the rail Cost him, and shotgun from Rapha. Shoddy Pippin, can he get the rail spawn? No dice on that one.
Well,
So tied at 1 early, Dan.
yeah, we didn't actually get to talk about what we expected to come out of these two, but it's going to be a brawl. They come to fight. Raisy putting the pressure on early. Rapha responding in kind. It is 1-to-1. They're going to trade items again, but a little bit of delay on the Mega. Rapha's going to be pressing his advantage with a sweet rail to take the lead.
Deal. And a juicy Mega pickup here. Might be able to cut off a little bit of shotgun. Has the Dire Orb to close the gap. Doesn't want to get too close to the rockets. Doesn't want to sacrifice the stack yet. Plenty of time to make his way over to the heavy to fight for it.
Raisy's waiting for him in the high ground, pestering him with just a machine gun. He actually goes in strong, but somehow the face shows it all. Comes out on the bitter end of that engagement. Rapha giving his life away, but again, showing the intent, going super aggressive. He gets bounced about by the rockets. A Raisy Pika comes out. It's pretty strong. The flick rail is just as good. Raisy has come to play 40.
Yeah, he is not mucking about, as you might say. 3-2. Raisy looking strong here off of the bat. Ooh, LG pretty strong. The air rocket from Raisy. Wow, that one was spicy, Dan. 4-2 here. Raisy is hitting everything he needs.
This is what we said in the intro, the speed of the stroke. Look, he's already on top of Rapha through that engagement after the frag. And we talk about it time and time again. Those health bars on deep are so important. It's the reason why he stayed alive so long to get that Mega. It's the minute details at this level, and Raisy's making them count. Nearly connected with that rail. They're both extremely low, but what? How? 180? Why not?
Just clutch. So clutch right now is Raisy. 6-2, making sure he has a nice margin to work with here. Although again, Deep Embrace, very back and forth. Potential is there. Rapha just needs to gain some form of control. 1 rail, maybe 2, not quite. Does drop Raisy down to the low ground here. Through the telly, LG should do it, and Rapha cleans it up.
Rapha cleans it up indeed. Picking up the next round of items.
I knew that. Dan, I wanted you to take the show here as Rapha trying to take the armor, but he flubs his jump twice. Does make it now. And no damage. Raisy's not anywhere to be found quite yet. Going up the jump pad. Rockets not quite landing. There's the peeker. There's the Dire Orb to avoid the peeker and try and get some free damage on the Strog.
Free damage, but it wasn't free damage at all. Basically, Taylor took a dent. He's actually backed off onto the Mega, and look how healthy he is. He's going to push his way across. Drops on down. He spots Rapha out. Just wants to engage. Mano on mano. The lightning gun is good, but the shotgun is better. Rapha catching him off the spawn. Once again, we love that cross shot. But Raisy doesn't matter. He knows he's got enough health to push it in.
7-4 now. Rapha does have LG, but that's all he has to work with here. Looking for an armor shard. Mega's going to be up soon, but he needs to be very careful. Raisy with a great rail. Drops down. There's the Dire Orb. Wants to make sure he takes this Mega. Nice stutter step to avoid that second rail from Raisy.
There's this constant, huge contest for the upper ground because neither one has a double jump ability. It is so important to keep that position up there, and that's why it's such a big brawl at the minute, because neither one is relenting, and they're constantly doing so much damage where there is no overbearing stack. They both feel that they could press their advantage off of the respawn. Once again, Rapha pushing in. Has been denied, though, the double rail from Raisy. He even spots the Mega up, delaying it a little bit, sweeping around to pick up some additional weapons before he goes on the offensive once again.
Just so much pressure from Raisy. 9-5 here. Rapha has Orb if he wants, and there it is. He's going to take it. Nice little play there to steal the heavy. Raisy actually surviving on the campgrounds there. A little bit of a campfire to try and heal up and through the stairs.
Wow.
Nice shot from both players.
Yeah, the exchange through the stairs was so nice. The delay is not too impactful, but Rapha's so low. Can he get it? He does just pick it up with 5 health to spare, but Raisy's standing his ground. It's going to be a matter of time till Rapha dwindles away. Not happy with the situation once again. And 5 frag difference. We're nearly approaching the halfway mark, but Raisy's definitely getting the better of these exchanges. And this is something we've seen all event long, is that Rapha's been somewhat struggling with the pure damage output of his opponents. So somehow he needs to put a bit of a cage on Raisy, get control of these items, but it is relentless damage from both sides at the moment.
Rapha struggling with some rails there and hits an easy one to make it 6. Still trailing by 4. What a play from Raisy there. Jumping, flying back into the action here. There's the cutoff. The LG's not going to be strong enough to push him back. Peeker from up close, a bit of a misplay maybe from Raisy. Is he going to survive? It looks like he will with 50 HP and some armor.
I think he expected to slide a little bit further away than he did, but the peekers have not been the best from Raisy the last 2 times. We've seen Strog, but coming out the teleporter there, catching Rapha a little bit on guard. Should mean he can't contest for this next heavy. However, that return round from Rapha definitely opens up the door. Ooh. Really nice play there, and he's closing the gap, frag after frag, stabilizing and getting a bit of control on the tempo. Raisy's gone in again to steal this heavy away, and whilst he might die, it's completely worth it to keep the map wide open. He doesn't even die.
Tribal, yeah, not connecting here. 4 frag lead for Raisy, 6 minute in. So the peeker comes around the corner. What? Raisy fell off during the peeker!
Bemused as to how this happened, but he continues the offensive with the spawn once again on the LG, pressing his advantage. This time though, he's not done sufficient damage, and this is one of the few exchanges where Raisy's committed his body but not come out on top, or not come out by doing any significant damage to his opponent. So this is the first time in the map where Rapha really has that clean stack to go aggressive.
I have never seen that before, Dan. I don't know about you, but the peeker play, that could come back to cost him. I mean, I laugh, but that's pretty huge.
I'm guessing he got licked by a rocket from Rapha, which just nudged him. I didn't really see, but anyway.
I thought he slid off because Rapha didn't get credit for the frag, so it was just a straight up suicide according to the console. But 22 HP, Rapha in a bad way here is Raisy trying to aggress as he should.
Oh, big rocket though.
Rocket.
Yeah, big rocket. Actually, not as big as it first looked either way. Raisy's still relatively healthy. The Mega's up. He's actually delaying, trying to pick up the upper light armor, and that's such a small detail that the best players do, is they will always preferencing swoop up that light armor, and Rapha fails his rocket jump. That's actually a really big frag for you, because now look at Raisy's stack. You got the frag, you got it clean, now he's trapped Rapha down here. This is a good peeker, and could this spell the beginning of the end?
Bit of LG here. Rapha just getting hit again and again, and Raisy's damage is just so strong right now. Out damaging Rapha by nearly 1,000 points. 6 frags down. Rapha trailing with 2 minutes. Dire Orb in a dream, Dan, here on map number 1. There's the Dire Orb in. Raisy will pick up the heavy, missing with the rail, getting lit up with LG, and he can't hit the damage on the way out.
There's a comeback, it has to be here and it has to be now. This is the start he needs. Raisy getting the spawn up top, going for the rocket, but getting caught. The peeker comes out, not doing an awful, well, it's staying alive a little bit longer, but he's just biding time. He needs to get away, and he's delayed enough to get onto the mega spawn. Gets the LG as well, and Rapha, knowing it, doesn't want to drop down. Playing the long game here. It is deep embrace, a minute and a half is enough time, but he cannot afford to give away another frag.
Almost getting that rail up the jump pad here. Does have super shotgun now. As Raisy has the mobility, that's where this is going to come in handy here. Ooh, big rocket almost drops him down right into Rapha's lap, but he drops down on his own. There's the Dire Orb and the rail, and can he swap to rockets? He does. Connects with enough damage to get the frag, Dan.
It was a messy frag though, but there we go. Once again, a perfect spawn frag, nearly following up with the second rail. That would have been nice. Raisy camping down below. We're hitting that 1 minute warning. Rapha's on the offensive, no orb up. It's going to have to be old school, using those legs. Again, big LG fight. Raisy's just trying to get away at this point and buy as much time as he can, and getting onto the high ground is exactly what he needed to do. What can Rapha do here? He's going to have probably 1 more orb before the end, which could secure a kill, but look at Raisy on the Strog. He's got the speed, he's got the brains. Rapha catches him, but he's weak again.
Heavy's up in 3, 30 seconds for 2 frags, and Rapha needs some opening damage immediately here. Is Raisy going to go for the Mega? He might play very safe here on the top, and it looks like he will, sacrificing the item, giving Rapha 20 seconds to try and get 2 frags.
We know the
Dire Orb in hand.
We know the conversion potential. He's camping behind there. Is Rapha going to look? It's a Raisy play. No! How has he done that?
I mean, look,
on that
Raisy's been a pro in that other game that's very sneaky. that we don't like to say around here, Dan, but that came out in that last play right there. Just let your opponent walk on by, hits him with a rail to send him to the sky, and that's the first map for Raisy, but it was still pretty close.
I mean, he has got some serious Hungarian cojones to sit right there.
Where you can get wrung out easily.
You know, just turtling down, bunkering down in, what, the lower bracket finals of Qcon World Championships. My word, Raisy. But what a performance that was. He came out swinging, Rapha responding in kind. There was just that period of dominance in the mid game where Rapha couldn't break the Raisy defense. He couldn't break the Raisy hit scan. Nobody got any sort of semblance of control until the very, very end, where Rapha was then pushing his advantage, but it was too little too late, as Raisy's advantage was beyond repair, and he took the map home with just one little frag remaining.
Just crazy, crazy, crazy. And we will see more of that as we're going to slowly load into Corrupted Keep for map number 2. Raisy on the DK, Rapha on the Blaskowitz. And as you mentioned before we got into all of this, and as Rapha mentioned in his interviews, EU has been drafting better. And you mentioned that, you know, you give the draft to Raisy on this one. That might come up huge. And that's a big differentiation between the previous stages where Rapha, you know, it was a breeze. Upper bracket, no problem. And now champions are at play here for the EU side, where they're drafting better. They're putting a lot more pressure on Rapha during the pick ban phase, and you can kind of tell right now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely happened. It's also aligned with the fact that we've had this heavy nerf as well. I mean, Rapha was one of the best players of molding strategies around heavy champions that might not have worked on other maps or might not have worked on other players, and he often got the preferences with the heavy picks as well, and that gave him more room to breathe. He could make more mistakes, he could press his advantage with his perfect time of decision making. But when you don't have that, this is one of the reasons why we were seeing him being bullied just a little bit by AIM in some situations, is because he doesn't have the heavy champions at his disposal. But he first picked the Blaskowitz here, and we know he plays a stellar Blaskowitz. The Death Knight response, I'm unsure whether he expected that, because he's a self-admitted fan of the champion, and we've seen the power that the Flame Strike brings. If Raisy plays this well and uses that burst well, I do prefer that pick on Corrupted Keep.
Yeah, we'll see exactly how that goes. As you mentioned, Rapha, a bit of a connoisseur with Blaskowitz. It looks like the predictions coming in, Rapha firmly ahead at 70%. So I think the chat believes in Rapha on this map with the Blaskowitz, regardless of the Flame Strike. But we saw earlier, I believe, Raisy took it over CK. Yeah, 8-7 against Avenger.
Raisy's Keep, right?
Yeah, Raisy's, again, I feel like he's renting. It's not really his. I don't think he owns it necessarily anymore, Dan, but we'll see. We'll see. It was a very, very close game, and I'm sure we're going to have another one here. And I believe we're swapping to an NA server for those playing the home version. Whatever excuses you want to make up in either direction. I believe it was EU first, so we should be heading over to an NA server.
Yeah, and obviously that make a world of difference. Heavy hit scan, Rapha can feel a little bit better on home turf, but nevertheless, this is the third event online now. I mean, it's null and void. The fact that what server we're on, everyone's comfortable, they're practicing cross-region. Don't even discuss it, is what I say at this point. Don't even think about it, 40. I can feel it.
I mean, I'm just, you lay it down in the chat, Dan.
Air.
No one will listen to me. You got the muscles, okay? So
no one listens
they're
to you.
afraid of you. Nobody listens to me. I don't even listen to me. I'm on autopilot most of the time. But map number 2 coming up shortly here between Raisy and Rapha. Again, lower bracket finals. The winner will go into the grand finals at a map disadvantage against Wenger, who's kicking up his feet, relaxing, but watching intently. And it's going to be a long road ahead for Rapha as he's down a map. Can he slay back-to-back Maestro players? One map at a time, Dan. This is quite the run from Rapha.
Yeah.
But Raisy, he wants to get that run back against Wenger. What better way to do it than grand finals?
I think there'll be a Maestro meltdown if that happens. You know, this is the opportunity at this point. You know, you have your 2 stellar star champions in pole position. This is definitely Wenger's star child at this point, going in the grand finals of the winner bracket. Nevertheless, we're back in Keep, and Rapha has to show us why he is near enough the quad father, as you would say, and can he show us those so obvious champion qualities once again.
Decent damage from Raisy. Has to double back for the armor, and that cost him a little bit more as a dual wield pop from Rapha. Items completely synced up here, but you can see Rapha just diving in around the banana. Did he just give up both? He almost did, and he did, and Raisy takes advantage.
Ouch. Ouch. Flames into lightning is never in a combo you want to hear.
Brutal damage from Raisy to take that first frag, but now after everything's taken, he's only down to 90 points of health. Heavy's going to be the first item up. Rapha just eating so much LG around the corner. Does have dual wield back up, as Raisy doing a good job of playing defensive. 30 HP. Here's a cutoff again. Is it going to work? Raisy turns tail and runs to the Mega.
Rapha reluctant to push in once again, and he learned his lesson the first time. Nearly connected with a flame strike through the window. That would have been a Jordan moment, but actually just missing Rapha as he goes on through. And Raisy camping on down. Rapha comes on through, but somehow Raisy comes out top. That's a BS moment on the Rapha cam as he gets caught off the spawn, converting once again 3-0, pushing for this heavy. Rapha will definitely have an appearance as he knows the Death Knight is low. Might just be trying to damage him through the TP, but with that flame strike up, Rapha will know that's up. Got to be a little bit more careful.
Raisy playing so well. The defense, as you mentioned on map number 1, looking extremely strong. Those rockets, so brutal. Rapha trying to figure out exactly where Raisy's hiding, and Raisy again just defaulting to this good defensive style here. Fortunately, not really landing any damage there. Takes a rocket. Raisy cornered a little bit, flame strike just to buy some space, but instead it just turns into a machine gun on machine gun fight. Rapha going through the flames, that's going to give Raisy some tracking, and now Rapha after the mega pickup, it's a mad dash for the heavy, and unfortunately can't thread the needle with that rocket.
Yeah, the opening mid-range damage with the machine gun, heavy machine gun, is going to be one of the deciding factors. And at this point in time, Raisy's getting the slight upper hand as he caught him once again, just around the corner. How does he keep doing this?
Just playing the corners, nice defense, but the trade comes out. Rapha's going to be pretty happy with that, all things considered, as the first rocket was a rocket jump off of Raisy's face. Now, can he catch him out at the heavy? Big rocket, flame strike comes out, a little bit more damage, and he's going to get that heavy.
He's burning away. Where does Raisy spawn? He actually gets the nail gun spawn, comes flying on through, but they're connecting with nothing, and Rapha picks up both major items. Not incredibly healthy, but he's got the light to fall back on here. Raisy needs to make his way across to that beloved lightning gun, but Rapha should be defending that. He's actually taking both weapons away from Raisy at this point. Has got a rocket though. Just delaying Raisy's progression so we can't do any damage onto this heavy. And now Rapha has the map on lockdown. So what is Raisy able to do on this next Mega?
Flame strike will miss, and now that it's gone, Rapha knows he could play a little more aggressive.
Zoning flame strike.
Raisy thought that he could catch him out there, but now instead Raisy's stuck. Good defensive rocket.
How?
Huge into machine gun. Right to the chest of Rapha, sending him packing, but Rapha also knows that heavy's first, so dual wield shotgun, is it gonna land? Shotty Pippin back into LG. Raisy trying to survive. He's gonna get almost out of there, just barely gets clipped. Rapha's very weak. He's gonna push for this heavy and go all in. The flame strike over the wall. What a play!
Slam dunk! Pushing on through. He's got the lightning gun in hand. Rapha's pushing back out. He's picked up the rocket launcher off the spawn. Fortunate for him. He is weak though. Raisy knows the timing. No flame strike up. Fortunate for Rapha, but he hasn't got the lightning gun. He's just going to use this time now to try and reset. Raisy waiting on the mid ground though. That chip damage, it adds up, 40. It really does.
Oh my god, that LG from Raisy. Mega's up. He wants the frag first.
Huge.
Plants Rapha in the boneyard. Approaching the halfway point. Dan, and what does Rapha need to do? Maybe those rockets is exactly what he needed here.
He needs to play the mid to long range again because this flame strike is killing him. He's just run into another rocket to flame strike combo. Every time he goes into Raisy's combat zone, he dies. So there needs to be more work done before those engagements, and this is what we said about the Death Knight. I mean, you might have the two weapons, but if you can't use them because you're being evaporated by fire, what is the point? Raisy's low, but he mans up and goes back into Rapha and actually has position to pick up the health. No!
Wow.
That is such great awareness by Rapha to get the chip damage done.
And he gets out of there, but the flame strike won't let him run and hide anywhere. Rapha waiting on that heavy, trying to get out, but the flame strike says no. 8-5. Raisy aggressing with the LG, taking another frag. This is getting out of hand, Dan.
I don't even understand how he does so much damage with so little angle. I don't think Rapha does either. Because also Rapha's not using his dual wield. Raisy's got free use of these hourglasses. He's got it up again, 40. It feels like it's on a 10-second cooldown. Every fight, every second fight, there's a flame strike for Rapha to meet.
And it's absolutely insane to watch. This is definitely a performance worthy of Raisy's keep, as Rapha just trying to deny items and cannot do it.
That feels like desperation already, and that is unexpected. He had to jump through fire and just hope Raisy wasn't falling on it, which of course he was. He's jumping in once again. He's just trying to do any damage at this point to keep Raisy at bay. He might get the frag, but at what cost once again? Rapha's low, and guess what? Raisy's going to spawn pretty full stacked and charge back in.
Dual wield shotgun. Just to keep Raisy away here. Can Rapha get in on this Mega? It's going to be a big one here as he lands a decent rocket with the LG from Raisy's good. And the Flame Strike comes in again!
Oh, that was like slow motion. I can taste the fire.
Spicy. It's caliente, Dan.
That's a Nando's very hot right there, and oh, Raisy is on fire. He has to forfeit this heavy though, so this is a big lifeline for Rapha. He has the dual wield coming off cooldown as well. This is the moment he has to make his mark.
Raisy gonna default to this very patient play. Heavy's up, and he just does not even want to be seen now, as all eyes on Rapha here. Has a lot of frags to make up.
And look at Raisy, he knows even at this point in the game, he can go into defensive mode. He doesn't actually need the items because he has an ability that just deletes opponents. And so if Rapha runs into him, he gets deleted. I mean, it's ABC, right? But in all seriousness, Raisy's playing this so smart. He's delaying Rapha to the point now there's both items up. Rapha has to decide between one, and Raisy gets a free Mega. And he's playing the choke point, because if Rapha wants to drop once again, he's going to be met by fire and doom, and that's what he is. He jumps into the fire, not a lot of damage coming out, but there's the lightning gun of Raisy. He dies himself, but he leaves Rapha stinging.
Rapha knowing better than to run into nail. Sub 2 minutes remaining, and the one time the Flame Strike doesn't come through big, Rapha sees a slight opportunity, but he's still down by so many frags, Dan. 6 frags in a minute 40. And in about 18 seconds, there's going to be another wall of flame waiting for him. And Raisy around the corner. A huge trap with the LG. So much damage.
How many times has Raisy just stood in a corner and caught Rapha off guard? This is omnipotent Rapha. But consistently made Raisy, and it's Raisy decisions. This is why people get frustrated playing against Raisy. It's because it's the why are you there type moment. And it works time and time again. And now it's a battle against the clock because Raisy is delaying Rapha. And yes, he's picking up frags, but every frag is costing him 30 seconds instead of 5, instead of 10. And he's running out of time.
Oh, Raisy's going for a ride with the LG. The chase has to come out from Rapha. He doesn't have a choice now. And now it's just Raisy kiting at Rapha. He will eventually go down, but at this point, Raisy's just going to eat up as much clock as he can.
Yeah, delaying his spawn. Rapha spots him. I think Raisy knows. He definitely knows now as the spam comes out. Rapha's in 2 minds. He's like, I need an item. I need to push. Oh no, there's a flame strike. This is everything going through his head right now. Plus, there's only 30 seconds left. Rapha decides against going in, letting Raisy live to fight another day and says, I need all the items. I have to just go now.
Hearing Raisy on the run, but as you mentioned, Flame Strike in Raisy's pocket. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be a lot of damage if Rapha can even catch him out, and it looks like he's gone up. Raisy has gone up 2 maps on Rapha in the lower bracket finals.
And yeah, NA server, not enough to save Rapha from the power of the Flame Strike and the power of the Lightning Gun as Raisy comes out, defeating his demons, but it's not done yet. It's not yet done yet, 40. Rapha is a multiple-time champion, the best Quake player of all time for a reason, and the series is not done till it's over. So, big maps coming up.
Job is not done for Raisy, but he's got to feel a little good about what he just did. 2-0 up on Rapha, someone that's given him a hard time in the past. and he came out swinging right out of the gate like we were wondering if he was going to do. And now we're going to head over to Vale. And again, the picks. Eisen versus Sorlag, not horrible by any means. But Sorlag maybe a little bit better? I mean, tell me how you feel about those picks.
Eisen has a lot of utility, but the reason why I like the Sorlag is because of everything we've seen in the last 2 maps. Raisy's hit scan, Raisy's combat skill. Now you're giving him a champion that's faster than his opponent and has more stack. And Rapha notoriously has been the player to either pick the bigger, tankier champion or the faster one. And this time he has neither. So he's going to have to play out of his mind, particularly with the rail, in order to stay in this game and stay in this series and ultimately stay in this tournament. So I am fearing for his life. I didn't like the pick here. I felt that Death Knight had too much burst potential that would put him on the back foot, and that's exactly what we saw. I'm not the biggest fan of the Eisen. We'll have to see what strategy he employs.
Whatever it is, it's last chance saloon, as you always like to say, for Rapha, and not often that we say that on the show here, as Raisy potentially working on a 3-0 versus Rapha to make it back to the grand finals and face his teammate Wenger, who again patiently awaits in the grand finals with a map advantage to face either one of these players, whoever can make it through. Raisy looking really solid, up 2-0. And yeah, I mean, you have to start questioning, can Rapha do it? I mean, endurance, experience, all of that. He's been in all of these situations before, Dan, but more than anything, it's just energy levels. He's been through a lot today already. He's got to win 3 in a row, and then you get a small break, and then best of 7 with a map disadvantage in grand finals. But he's a trained professional, as he said time and time again, and it's one map at a time. He even said it in the Qcon set. Just forget about everything that just happened. It doesn't matter, one map at a time. And this whole tournament has tested him more than he's ever been tested before. As we said, when we first got knocked into lowers against Avec, it was just, this is uncharted waters. And yeah, this is really, really going to test him. And if he can somehow pull this back, I don't think anybody can ever doubt that he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of all time. Even making it to the grand finals through this lower bracket would be just a tremendous achievement.
I mean, he has nothing left to prove in anyone's eyes. He's already the greatest player that ever lived.
There's still people out there that are like, he's not that great.
But
so, I don't know.
But this is also why you don't lose early, to put it bluntly. I mean, there's a reason why we're talking about fatigue and drain. And I mean, I don't want to put it bluntly, but he's only got himself to blame. And I'm sure he'll be the first to admit it. He lost to Avec, and he has to grind all the way back. Where Raisy only lost to Wenger recently is a bit more fresh. But Wenger's also, Raisy's just playing out of his mind at this point. It's the best Quake I've seen him play. But we don't count Rapha out. As long as he's got a fighting chance, and we saw it against Qcon, we saw it against Cypher. There was 2 or 3 games there where I was almost convinced both Cypher and Qcon would have won, and somehow Rapha digs deep and comes out on top. And I came into this saying Raisy has a little bit of a mental block against Rapha, and so until it's done, if Rapha takes the lead, and if Rapha builds that lead, you might see elements of doubt creeping into Raisy's game, and that's what Rapha can latch onto and just suck away at you till there's nothing left. And so Raisy needs to stabilize and play his own game.
We'll see what happens. Map number 3. Patiently awaiting as we're loading in. Again, Vale, it'll be Eisen for Rapha, Sorlag for Raisy. Tournament life on the line for Rapha. He's got to win 3 in a row. Raisy have some buffer to work with, but as you said, if he drops a map, maybe he starts getting in that negative headspace. He's lost to Rapha before, but this is exactly where you want to be if you're Raisy. Up 2-0, tons of momentum. I mean, you know your mechanics are solid. You're going toe-to-toe. You're hitting like a truck right now. So you got to feel good if you're Raisy.
You definitely do, and Rapha has a point to prove. It's his best map, 40. We're on to Vale. It's also the map he has consistently been losing, so you never know.
He said that once on the interview where it's his best map, and I was just like, what is it though? Like, I don't know. He just likes the map, Dan. Leave him alone. He likes the map. Let him have this one. We'll see. It's gonna be an interesting one right here as we're gonna get into it. Loading into Vale, map number 3, Raisy versus Rapha. Is this the end of the reigning champion? Raisy wants to stomp him out in 3, and we're gonna start off on Raisy's POV.
Speed and power, that's what Sorlag brings. Starting off strong, just a turret by the rocket. Information turret more than anything, just to understand what the hell's going on, and also to set up that trap as he drops right on down, pecking out the lizard from the air. Big damage coming out from Rapha. Raisy's only got a rail rocket to work with, so has to play the wrong game. And of course, he hits a rail on the way out.
Why not? Why not, Dan? The heavy. Oh, was that a steal? I don't even know who got that, but big rockets and the trade comes out. Unbelievable.
All right, well, that's the start you need as Rapha. At least you're not down one at this point. Also gets a good spawn, picking up everything he needs. Needs to work his way around to that rail. And like we said, I definitely feel the rail is going to be a critical component. Again, turret's just down below to pick up some information. He's stalling out, expecting Raisy to go around the LG way, but when he doesn't, repositions up on the high ground. Raisy's actually snuck around and taken the item away from Rapha before he even knew what's going on. You can see Rapha just try to cut off that choke point, cut off the point of aggression as best he can.
Both players slowing down now as Raisy just waiting by that lower jump pad, has timing on the heavy. Figuring out what pathing he wants to take through the telly. Here's the fight. A little bit of spit damage that's going to send Rapha packing, but he's going to grab the heavy. Still ticking away. That's going to give Raisy tracking and full information on exactly Rapha's whereabouts.
Raisy playing is very tempered to start with, but that's also because Rapha's done a great job of bottlenecking the map. He's not giving Raisy any room to breathe in terms of his pathing. Now Raisy's got a bit more free reign of the upper ground, and Rapha's playing on the back foot, and Raisy comes instantly charging on through, pushing Rapha away, trying to delay his progression. Whilst eating a rail, he has done so and will get a free heavy. 15 seconds before the next mega, and Rapha's set up early.
Big tribal damage here as Raisy has to focus Timmy first. Can he get a rail? Rapha's going to get knocked off. He's going to get close with a shotgun. Both players extremely weak and no LG. The rocket from down below will not land, and Rapha, missed opportunity, has to concede the mega, and Raisy's stack looking so healthy yet again.
Yeah, Raisy will want to be bullying Rapha off this heavy. That's why Rapha's there early. This bit comes out. The rockets are really good from Rapha, bouncing Raisy around. The lightning gun is also great, but Raisy just comes out on top due to that bigger stack.
Again, the spit there, that extra 20 damage. All the difference here is Raisy still weak. Rapha waiting on top of this mega, does have Timmy to deploy if necessary. Here's the lower armor shard to be taken. Should be able to cut off here as Raisy goes up the ramp. There's more spit. Big rocket for Raisy, stuck in a bad way here. Rail on the way out, as you said, Dan, just maximizing damage constantly.
Yep, those small details can pay off big in the longer run. Because of that rail, you can see Rapha has to forfeit the heavy once again. Dropping the turret down by the rocket launcher, making its way to the mega. Also, again, very early, every single time here. Not entirely sure what the game plan is. Because of that, you can see Raisy come barreling on in and might even get the frag. It's, in my mind, a bit uncharacteristic to see Rapha almost playing passive around the items. You want to see him cutting off that potential for Raisy to come jumping in. I don't know what you think, 40.
Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to hatch an egg on some of these items, and it's really costing him here as the heavy is up, and he can't even get any damage as Raisy is in and out with that massive stack after the heavy. Here's a cutoff. Not a great initial rocket here. Throws down the turret, 32 HP. Can he get past?
Well, apparently.
Was the spit used for Timmy?
Yep, the spit was used just to delete Timmy.
Well, sometimes you got to spit on Timmy. I don't know what to tell you, Dan. 3-2. So we're 1 minute away from being halfway through. Again, Rapha, tournament life on the line, has to win this and then 2 more. Raisy in pole position to win this and go to grand finals from the lower bracket side, and spit again. It feels like no time has passed and he has spit up again. Just really doing a good job of using those vials. What a rail into a rocket, but he can't finish it. Raisy picks him out of the sky and survives with 11 HP to claim yet another mega. Another fantastic rail from Rapha, missing out on an opportunity there. Raisy, in a bad way, needs to be careful. But he's hitting all the shots he needs to, Dan.
Absolutely massive rail from Rapha, though. If he didn't hit that, he loses that heavy. That keeps him in the game for now. You can see him pushing in, and he's actually being incredibly aggressive. Luckily hits that rail once again. He's going barreling on through. And now you can feel the aggression coming out from Rapha, just keeping the tempo high. This time he's got good timing on the mega. Raisy tries to steal it away, but doesn't make it all the way up. Gives away the tying up frag.
Make note of that. Aggression at 5 minutes. Is it going to come back to haunt Raisy? He wanted to end it there and steal that mega and just deflate Rapha, but instead Rapha working with a full stack, full run of the map now turret in hand as well, just on the hunt. He's going to catch out Raisy, but Raisy with a fantastic rail.
At the moment, it's the reads of Rapha against the aim of Raisy. Completely tracking Raisy like a book all around the map, and you can see the tempo from Rapha. As much as there isn't a lot of utility from Ison, Rapha's making him look incredibly fast. He's non-stop pedal to the metal, just understanding exactly where he needs to be at all times. But this might have been a mistake as he rocket jumps up early, and now he's been pushed off the item. Raisy steals it away with 15 seconds to set up for this next Mega. That was a costly mistake.
Yeah, huge. As Rapha needs to turtle up now, waiting on this armor shard. Might grab these time shards to try and get Timmy back. That small tick of damage giving away Raisy's position. But still, full run of the map for Raisy here. 10 seconds till the next heavy. Rapha just trying to stay alive. Re-up on LG. Needs to be careful going through the telly. He's going to take big damage here. Now he's stuck in a terrible position. 17 HP. Raisy capitalizes with his LG.
And yeah, uncharacteristically, Rapha's playing Raisy very well. It doesn't feel like he's playing the map very well at this point. He's reading Raisy like a book. His aim is on point. But he's not playing the items well. His timing feels a little bit off as well. I don't know if he's rattled, but Raisy definitely got the upper hand in terms of map control.
Yeah, it's a little absurd to see here as Rapha falling back after that rail shot, just getting initial damage, just hoping that he can get in on this heavy. Raisy timing it right. He's going to drop in, and a little bit of tri-bolt actually, and no damage, and Rapha almost gets a rail on the double peak. Still not a lot of weaponry to work with. No LG, Dan. Can't really push in. Still trailing by one frag.
Nice.
Great rail from down below.
That's the signal to aggress, and Raisy evacuates the area. Now this is a massive moment for Rapha. Clean pickup on the heavy. Now he has perfect timing on both items as well. If he didn't before, both clean. Raisy on the defense. Once again, just standing in a corner. Rapha runs into him, has to get out as damage has gone Raisy's way, and he escapes to fight another day. You also have to respect the fact that whilst he's taking these items, Raisy's also got that starting stack of the Sorlag, which is already sizable. And once again, he just jumps into Raisy's
huge
LG, but
damage!
the rockets!
5-5. 2:10 left on the board. Rapha has to make this happen here. Rocket sailing by. Is the drop on the heavy going to happen? No, instead Raisy's going to rocket jump up. There's the spit defensively to keep Rapha away, but not a lot of damage. Good LG from Rapha.
So
Stacks, all things considered, about even. Now Rapha trying to read exactly where Raisy's going to come from. Good LG defensively into the rocket to take the frag with 7 HP.
But here comes Raisy. Even if he gets this Mega, he's got nothing to work with. Rapha has to run. He knows, but no! Raisy's actually there. Fortunately, he gets up with no damage. That steal on the heavy was so worth from Raisy. He knew he would take a bucket load of damage, but what it does is it breaks the rhythm, it breaks the cycle of Rapha, and it puts him in this position where Rapha now loses the next round of items because of the subsequent damage. So it might look like a bit of a throw, but it's so smart. As long as it pays off, and the rails from Raisy, nearly a second. Rapha's holding strong. The rail from himself has been good as well. And as long as he keeps his tempo high, he's in a good position, but he's been bullied away from that Mega.
Oh, Raisy's got him trapped. There's the spit. He's going to start taking away the LG from Raisy. Is it going to be enough from down below? He can't do it. Raisy drops on him, ties it at 6 with a minute left, and here comes the aggression. The good rail, but Rapha still manages to get the heavy and luckily stays on the mid-ground. Does not fall. There's the turret. Needs to be careful. Raisy getting melted, and heavy, or excuse me, Mega's not up for 8 seconds, Dan.
What? No frigging way.
Wow.
I don't even know what to say at that. That was the perfect move by Rapha, but 2 rails that just were, I don't know how you hit those. Now, 30 seconds to go. Raisy with the lead. Picked up the frags, and there's no way he can lose this now. Rapha has to pass forward, but Raisy will hold his ground, use his audio cues, and just escape Rapha. As I say that, he decides to meet Rapha. The spit's there. Rapha might get the frag. He's taken a lot of damage, though. Can he get the spawn and do something with 70 points of health?
10 seconds. He can't get the Mega. He can't get the light. He just needs to fight, and he can't find him, and that's it. Raisy in 3 over Rapha, and the reigning champ has been knocked out in the lower bracket.
I don't know what to say.
Insane.
I don't know what to say. The way Rapha played that Ison was incredible. Like I said, I don't think his map control was that good. but it's also because Raisy was playing amazing map control. But the speed he played the Ison at made Zorlag look like a slug. Raisy didn't know where to turn half the time, and when he was turning, he was met by a rail. But somehow, the clutch moments, Raisy comes out with those 2 beautiful rails, finishes up with a frag, and extends his lead. It was just an unbelievable series, and Rapha started this tournament pretty rough, but he came out absolutely swinging with some of his best Quake so far. It was just that he coming up against Raisy, who was playing incredible, and I cannot wait to see this grand final.
We got a lot to talk about in a short amount of time. How do you feel about what just happened?
I mean, history is made. On one hand, congratulations to Raisy. This is amazing. We're going to get a rematch of the upper finals. On the other hand, congratulations to Rapha. That was a long run of mini championships that will be very difficult to try to match, right? We talked about the quad father, and that's an aspirational goal, but what he did over the course of several tournaments is amazing. But history is made. We're going to crown a new champion. This changes storylines for ages to come. I kind of love where we're at. Raisy may not have been able to play clutch, but to your point, Dan, he was clutch, right? All the time. It looked like the perfect Raisy. The cyborg was there.
Yep.
That was great. That was an amazing matchup. I'm still pretty surprised that it was in 3. Raisy looks like he is playing with something to prove.
Couldn't put it any better myself. The levels we've seen today were phenomenal. Strategy-wise, execution-wise, it was mind-blowing to me. And you have to credit Rapha. There was times where you didn't think he would get this far, but he is still 3rd, and he's come up against 2 superstars in Wenger and Raisy, who have only been rising for many, many times and only haven't won a championship because Rapha has been that good up until now. But now it's their time to shine, and we have to look forward and celebrate what's to come.
I mean, can I just say one other thing? We've talked about these potential champions for 3 stages now.
Right.
And our 2 potential champions that we consistently brought up again and again were Raisy and Wenger, and now they're facing off. So, I mean, the prophecy comes true.
And I have to say, you put it perfectly. No one's going to match what Rapha just did. You look at the level we're playing at now, where no matter where you sit in the league, everyone was testing Rapha. Everyone's been testing everyone. There's no clear, person that's rising above everyone else at this point, because every map's going to extra time, every map's going to the wire. And Rapha, what Rapha did up until now has been incredible, and he deserves all the kudos.
Absolutely insane, and a victim of his own success, I would say. 3rd place, and people in chat are like, he's washed. It's over because he couldn't win 4 titles in a row. What a loser. Just so silly, but, condolences to Rapha. He's going to make his exit, but yes, we get to crown a new champion, and either way, Maestro wins, so the organization's very happy. But Wenger versus
they get to
Raisy is
claim
going to be
victory
great.
now, I guess.
Garpy's in the league.
Incredible.
That's true. Carpy still isn't. It's all gravy.
Gentlemen, we're going to obviously allow Raisy to be taking a break, get a breather. Big match coming up as we head to the grand finals. Wenger has been sipping on that iced tea, just kind of waiting. Probably pretty happy that not only his teammate is there, but also someone that he just already sent down to the lower bracket. Can he do it again, or will Raisy take his first championship? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to take a break, and when we return, it's the grand finals of the QPL World Championship. Don't go away. We will be right back.